Hello, welcome to another real-time colored pencil drawing tutorial focusing on blending colored pencils. I'm using Prismacolor Premier Colored Pencils, and for the face, I use the burnishing technique. So if you have not yet encountered that technique, which is the burnishing technique, I have a video linked on the playlist below. It's pinned below on my comment section, the link of that burnishing technique video. But here on this drawing, for the entire face, I used the burnishing technique, but with her hand or the fingers, I did not use the burnishing technique. Actually, I needed some help from this liquid, this blending agent right here. As you can see, this is the one that is responsible for this part, the hand, because I feel a little bit lazy when it comes to other parts of the skin tone aside from the face, because I felt like I have spent so much time for the face using the burnishing technique. But here I wanted to make a little bit quicker to do and easier, because I don't want to spend a lot of hours just for the hand. So this technique is what I use here. But can you see a difference? It looks exactly like the face, the colors and the blending, the burnish. It almost look like also the burnishing technique, but it's not. It is with the help of this liquid. So what is this liquid and how I did the hand like this, I'm going to show you on this tutorial video with colored pencils. I hope you watch it, because I know that you're going to learn a lot of things from it. That's exactly what I did on the face. I start with layering my colored pencils. I go from dark to light. So I start with, I use exactly the same colors that I use on the face. It's just that with the face, I use the burnishing technique. But here, I'm not gonna burnish. I'm gonna use this liquid solution right here. So everything starts with the layering. It is important that we are going to fill the tooth of the paper with lots and lots of layers of colored pencils, because this is not going to work if there are just few layers of colored pencils. It's important that the tooth of the paper is filled with pigments of the colored pencil. So now I'm doing it a little bit quicker. I don't need to be as slow, just like what I did on the face. I layered very slowly. Here you can go a little bit faster. Okay, you can just do it really quick, the layering. So this is my first pencil. This is, what's this? This is the dark umber. This is my darkest colored pencil that I used on the face. So there. The next layer is the Tuscan red. So I'm just going to sharpen it a little bit. Okay, so this is my second layer. The idea here is to fill the tooth of the paper with lots and lots of layers of colored pencil. But again, this is part of the system that I did on the face, which is I'm gonna layer different colors, but I don't layer any random color. I based everything on my reference photo. So the mixture of all these pigments is what I saw on my reference photo. So picking the colors can be a little bit challenging, especially for beginners, but you are going to learn it through time. So don't worry, because picking the colors is one of the skills that goes with time and experience and trial and error. So you will have an eye for picking the right colors to combine, to layer together in order to build a specific kind of skin tone. Because I'm not using the burnishing technique, I am allowed to be a little bit faster when it comes to my layering, like what I'm doing here. I don't need to be really slow in layering my colors. You can be a little bit faster, because this liquid is gonna do a good job for us here. Now, as you can see on this two fingers right here and here on the palm. So this liquid is responsible in making this possible. So you will see it here, how that works and how things become quicker and easier with this blending liquid. The third layer is the ultramarine. Again, I'm using Prismacolor Premier wax-based colored pencil, where typically we would blend using the burnishing technique. So you can see, if you have seen my past videos, which is linked, the playlist is linked, the real-time videos, those tutorial videos in real time is linked on my comment section. It's pinned down there. So if you want to see that after this tutorial video, I am encouraging you to watch those videos. But here you may observe that I'm layering a little bit faster, which is what I like about using this blending agent, because I am allowed to be a little bit faster compared to the regular burnishing, like what I did with the face, which takes lots and lots of hours to layer slowly and to make sure that the pencil is sharp and everything. But here you can just go ahead and be a little bit faster. Next layer is the Perma Violet. So I hope you are getting the idea that what we need on this particular technique is to fill out the tooth of the paper with lots and lots of layers of colored pencils. But these are the colored pencils that I exactly used on the face. I'm just making it a little bit faster here on this particular part, the hand part. I usually use this liquid or this technique on other parts of the skin tone aside from the face, like for example the shoulders, the arms, the breasts, the neck. So usually those larger areas are gonna take lots and lots of hours to layer and to blend using the burnishing technique. So I needed the help of this solution, and some of you may already know what is this liquid, and you are gonna find out in a little while. So because here we are still on the layering process, because nothing to blend with this if the skin tone is not fully layered. And this chemical may damage the paper if the tooth of the paper is not fully filled with layers of colored pencils. Next layer is the Crimson Lake. So now we have the reddish layer. But this blending agent, you can also use this in blending the skin tone in the face. But personally for me, I don't usually use it on the face because I feel that the face is very delicate. And but if you have enough practice, trial and error and everything, you can master the use of this liquid on the face. And yeah, it depends on your style, but for me I don't particularly like using this technique on the face. Only this is my secret to make a little bit faster the drawing on other parts like the fingers and other skin tone aside from the face. I use this technique. As you can see, there is no considerable difference with this liquid blender and with the burnishing that I did on the face. The next pencil that I use to layer here is the Yellow Ochre. So I'm being very fast right now because you don't need to be slow on this kind of technique, because we are gonna blend everything using this particular liquid solution. So as you can see, layering becomes really quicker on this particular colored pencil technique, blending technique. And then the next pencil is the Magenta. I love magenta, very nice pinkish reddish color. You should have this on your palette. Very nice. I think very versatile on different kind of skin tone, this magenta color. Second to the last layer is the pink. I need the pink here to make the finger really nice pinkish color. I think I need to extend the pink here on this very light tone right here. Okay, the last color that I use in layering this skin tone is the Nectar. So this is going to make everything really nice and full before we use the blending agent, the liquid blender. I call it the liquid blender because this is not I see this blender very seldom that a lot of colored pencils artists use this liquid blender that I'm gonna show you. It's not that popular. I don't know in other countries, but here in the Philippines, using this solution is not really that popular with many colored pencil artists. I'm not just sure in your country, wherever you are in the world, if you have encountered this solution like here that I'm going to show you. That solution is responsible in blending this part and here, and you're going to see it here on this particular part, these two fingers right here. You are gonna see how it works right here. Maybe some of you already have a guess on this liquid, and some of you may already have used this blending solution right here on your colored pencil drawings. But most beginners, I'm sure, are not yet familiar with this. So I'm gonna show you right now because I'm done with layering the skin tone on these two fingers. Now let's blend it. So this liquid is the Odorless Mineral Spirit, and the brand is the very famous, readily available in the market, which is Gamsol. So Gamsol Odorless Mineral Spirit. It's important that there are a lot of this on the market, but some of them are not odorless. It's important to use the Odorless Mineral Spirit, and Gamsol for me is the best. Gamsol, that is the brand, and yeah. Some of you may already encountered this liquid, this solution. This is going to do the blending right here. So what I do is I pour it very small amount. You don't need a lot of this. Just a couple of drops will do for this small area. So yeah, just that on a separate container. Okay, then using a clean soft brush. So this is a makeup brush, literally a makeup brush. So it has to be, it doesn't have to be a big brush, just a small brush like this will do. So what I do is, yeah, I'm gonna put the brush there, and the brush should not be super wet. A nice damp brush will do. So what I do is I'm gonna press the brush a little bit, because this Odorless Mineral Spirit have the potential of damaging the paper if you use too much. So just very little liquid on the brush. So what I do is I'm just gonna brush it on the layered skin tone with colored pencils, starting from the very light parts. So you start with the light going to the dark part, okay? Because if you start with the dark part going to light, you are going to mess the lighter part. So you want to start on the lightest part of the skin tone right here. So I'm doing it very quickly. As you can see, it gradually melts the colored pencil. So what it does actually, this Gamsol or this Odorless Mineral Spirit, is to melt the pigment of the colored pencils and to hide the tooth of the paper, which is what burnishing is all about. Burnishing is the end result of flattening out the tooth of the paper for it to not be visible in the final output. So here, instead of burnishing or flattening out the tooth of the paper, I'm using the Gamsol to hide the tooth of the paper, to melt all those pigments and fill out the tooth of the paper with this melted colored pencil pigments. Now you can see here that the color is a bit intense. That's okay, because that is just the result of the wetness of the pigments. But when it dries, it dies down. That very intense coloration, or what you call the saturation of the skin tone, will die down, will fade as the paper dries. So don't worry, because this will become this in a while. Okay, so that is the process. So I made a little bit wet on this particular part, but that should not be a problem, because you can just... Okay, so we can correct it later on. We can correct everything later on, because by using the Gamsol, we did not flatten the tooth of the paper. The tooth of the paper is still there underneath that melted colored pencils, and meaning to say that it should allow us to correct everything later on after everything dries. So after applying the Gamsol, okay, the colored pencil really nicely melts and hide the tooth of the paper. And surprisingly, with the Gamsol, compared to the burnishing, it doesn't bloom as much, the Prismacolor, using this solution, using this technique. Okay, so I'm gonna let it all dry for about 30 minutes to 1 hour. So 30 minutes will do. So see you after 30 minutes when it dries. So now that the Gamsol completely dries, I'm just gonna use the white to refine the skin tone a little bit. So very quickly, I'm just gonna, and to show the highlights, some of the highlights of the fingers. and to smoothen some areas, some rough part of the skin tone. So this is just a Prismacolor white, and what it's doing is to refine the skin tone a little bit. As you can see, it's very easy now to really make the skin tone look nice. So I'm just gonna put some pressure on the highlighted part, like here in the middle of the finger, and here on the other finger right here. So using circular motion, you don't need to press hard because we no longer need to flatten the tooth of the paper because it's already hidden with all the layers of colors that we put. And then what the Gamsol did is to fill out all the tooth of the paper with all these pigments of colored pencil. So I can still feel the tooth of the paper right here. As you can see, that's why it's very easy to blend everything or to refine everything using this white, because I can still feel that the Gamsol did not flatten the tooth of the paper. It just hides the tooth of the paper. So if you want to add more layers, or if there are colors that you feel you needed to add, I think that you can really add more layers here, because the tooth of the paper is not damaged at all. I can still feel it, although it's no longer visible. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of this flesh tone. This is the nectar, just to make the very reddish or saturated color to die down a little bit, to make it look more natural. So the idea on using Gamsol or this Odorless Mineral Spirit is for us to be spared with the very difficult and very long process of burnishing. But don't get me wrong, I love burnishing. I did the face using the burnishing technique, but here on some parts where I feel a little bit lazy using the burnishing technique, I can just use this Gamsol or Odorless Mineral Spirit to make this a little bit faster. But I can say that Gamsol did not sacrifice the quality of the drawing or the skin tone. It looks really similar to the burnishing that I did on the face. Can you see it? I want to know your opinion about this Gamsol. Are you gonna try it with a face? Because you can very much do it. Using this Gamsol, you can really do it on the face. It's just that me personally, I like the typical burnishing on the face. So I have a couple of tutorial videos on blending skin tone using different techniques in a playlist below, pinned on my comment section. So if you feel you want to comment or you want to say anything about this particular technique, about using this, or anything that you want to say with this solution, with this technique, you are free, you are very welcome to say your opinion on my comment section. And yeah, this is pretty much it. So I did all this, the hands, the fingers, using the Gamsol. So this is another like option, may I say option, to be able to blend colored pencils apart or aside from the burnishing, which is what we normally do. So this time using a blending agent called Odorless Mineral Spirit or Gamsol. So this is it. I've done the entire hand in a couple of hours only, and I think it will take me forever to do if I did what I do on the face. But here, with the help of this Gamsol, yeah, very quickly I was able to do her fingers, the hand. So I hope you learned something from this tutorial video focusing on blending realistic skin tone. This is in real time, and I hope that you enjoyed and you learned something from it. Let me know anything on your mind right now on my comment section. Thank you so much for watching this video and for supporting my channel. Bye bye.